Cada vez que eu conto isso, eu me
I
lembro daquele
remember
dia,
that day that
que é doído,
hurts, but my
mas
heart
o meu coração é que
is
estava
what was wrong,
de modo
wrestling
errado
with God.
escutando Deus.
For me, basketball meant everything. There was a time where I stopped thinking of basketball as something professional because I hurt my knee, but it was still my favorite sport. So I practiced it all the time, but not to be a pro anymore. There was a basketball ministry called Stop and Think. So we played for a period and then we stopped and paused for water. And for 5 minutes, a pastor or a missionary preached the gospel. But I looked at that, what he was talking about, as a message that was something good, but not for me. There was, say, 4 years, that's when the accident happened. Then I had to go to medical care unit to get my foot back in place. And then I was out of work for a year, unable to work and play basketball, which is what I really wanted to do. But in that time, I had time to reflect on all those 4 years that the gospel was preached to me, all those messages passed through my mind, and then we received a visit from Pastor Randy. And when he arrived, we welcomed him. He preached the gospel again, and I said that I had doubts about everything I had heard. We cleared up our doubts, and I asked my wife, so what now? We have to respond to this. What do you think? And we both accepted together. Together, the two of us accepted Christ. But soon after, about 2 years after our conversion, my son got sick. And when he got sick, it was something quite sudden. Yes, it was very fast. In more or less the 25th day, he was admitted to the ICU. We went through a huge difficulty because the doctor said that there was nothing more he could do for Enzo. All the medicine and everything he could do through medicine was done, but he wasn't getting better. So Alexandre and I, we prayed that night, talked to each other, and that day we prayed the hardest prayer of our life. That is, to say to God, if it was His will, He could take Enzo. And every time I tell it, I remember that day that hurts, but my heart is what was wrong, wrestling with God. That Enzo, Evelyn were His. He gave them to us, so if He wanted, He could take them. In the morning, we went back to the room, and the doctor said something had happened because Enzo had started to respond and he was better. And that same week, he left the ICU and went to a room. Our heart was hard, demanding and questioning God of something, and He showed us through His Word, because we prayed every day, we studied every day, and He showed us that He's sovereign over all things. We understand then that God has called us to work in full-time ministry. That's why today we are here. Sítio da Esperança is a place where we initially thought we would serve the local churches, serving as a camp for retreats, weddings, sports. Today we are responsible for all the administration of this place, for rentals, but we have one more purpose for this place. It's not just serving the church, but to plant a church here, which is one of the goals now. We've been doing Bible studies. This is how God has directed us. This has driven us to be here in Loma Grande, Novo Hamburgo, using this space at Sítio da Esperança.